is the environment important, and should the government be involved? What can we do to help it?
So we do believe in a better environment, and the government must take a part in the environment to maintain a healthy society, because they can help contribute to the change. Our planet is being affected by many things such as global warming, so the production of carbon by burning fossil fuels, etc. So we feel if more laws were made to reduce carbon emissions, it would help contribute to saving our planet, as well as if more people use public transportation, there'd be less cars on the road, so less gas is being put up into the atmosphere. The way that people would use more public transportation is if we lowered the fare cost. So say, for example, from $3.50 to $2, and the way we would do this is funding. So the money would go towards the company and we would do fundraisers towards it. So it would influence more people to use public transportation.
I do agree with helping the environment. However, fossil fuels and emissions is just like 10% of what happened in global, or like 15% of global warming. The rest is actually just like cow emissions and stuff, like cow manures and gases, everything. All that is like a lot more. So I feel like the reducement of eating meat and stuff would help would help like the government a lot more.
That definitely will help the government, but what happens if a large portion of society turns vegetarian or vegan? What happens to the cattle farmers? What happens to the people who farm all of the livestock? What happens to them?
I mean, they could go out of business, and I feel like it would do a lot of damage to their company and stuff. But I feel like having that, or even having the option of affecting one person's job or whatever, or company, that and having affecting one person's job would be a lot less than the whole world being affected by it. So I feel like even if the farmers and stuff who losing their farms and stuff, I feel like we could help them with other stuff, because it would cause a lot of problems, but I feel like we could help them because the world is probably more important than just one company.
I do agree with the world is more important than one company, but also Canada has a fair share of the beef trade, international beef trade. So what's going to happen when that just kind of goes away? Where's the money going to come up to compensate for that?
And then adding on to that as well, if we were to for example, stop eating meat, cow is the meat that a cow provides is very high, it provides protein, essential for us to work and be alive, and cows also produce milk, which is a great source of calcium. So, and then unless people want to take calcium and protein supplements, nobody will agree to that.
Well, you can also get
take,
those vitamins.
There's also there's also a lot of other ways to have calcium and I'm not saying just to
eating
eating
cow.
cow.
People are gonna stop eating meat though.
I'm not saying just stop eating meat.
That's what you said.
Yeah, but to stop the emissions from cows, you would have to slaughter every single cow in Canada to stop.
Yeah, and their dead bodies will still.
It doesn't matter if you stop
And we have
eating
to
meat or
combat
not.
that with animal cruelty. Like, guys.
Yeah, but would you rather cows die or the earth die?
Yeah, I'm not saying to
We need protein, iron, and calcium in order to live, guys.
And people aren't going to stop eating
isn't a
meat.
big
It's
deal.
just,
Yeah,
And it's
especially
not
cows.
something we can't
we
really
can't help that a cow goes for a dump in the grass. There's nothing we can do to stop them. Well, but what we can do is get cars off the road and start carpooling.
That's not even a problem though. If you watch
I know, but it's a part of it. So we can make that 15%,
You've seen the
10%,
gross
5%.
50%. Do you not see the disgusting emissions
What
about
about
cars?
deforestation?
Have you seen the movie?
Well, that's kids.
It's not all about just the cows. There's other topics of their problems with the environment.
Yeah, like
It's not
deforestation.
just cows.
Also as well as
There's
oil.
chicken, there's
Yeah, but that's nothing that's not even close to
Point
the big
was
part.
we
Like,
need
you watch-
to
Yeah, I know,
have
but,
a healthy environment in
The
order
world's
to have a
never gonna
healthy
boil
society.
if
I agree with that.
You guys have to watch
The point
Conspiracy
is-
and your whole
Guys, if we don't have a healthy environment, we won't have a healthy society. The world won't be able to keep going. Yes, I understand. We all need meat. And there's nothing we can really do about cow emissions, but stuff about deforestation, as Amy said, we can prevent that. We can also use less transportation, which will prevent a lot of greenhouse gases. It's all of those little things that make a big difference, that will affect our society.
And main causes of deforestation is like logging companies, and I think that they should have less production, and they should have a limit on how many trees they should cut down.
I agree with that. I agree that they should have a limit, but I also think that those logging companies should be responsible for replanting trees.
Yeah, like
That's
implementing like
And the
shelter.
right type
They
of
should
trees.
they should cut
And the
like,
same for
Exactly.
for as many as they cut down. They should plant about like
Yeah,
2
so
times
shelter
more.
would
That
pay.
way,
So
yeah.
But they also must plant the right type of trees for that environment and that like habitat, because I know a lot of logging companies have put this into action, but instead of planting the trees that they cut down, they plant like pine trees and all of those types of trees that are good for like toilet paper and actual paper, but those were not the original ones that they cut down.
I'm like,
I would have never guessed that logging companies are like cut down trees. I never would have guessed that, Mateo.
Oh jeez.
like you can plant as much trees as like, I feel like people are still gonna be like cutting down trees and like it will still like affect our like our world stuff. Like it's not just like emissions and stuff, because it's not emissions as much as it seems like a big part of it. There's a lot more bigger parts of global warming than just emissions.
What are they?
Exactly, so it could be different things.
Like,
Shots fired.
Yeah, but cows you can't really change, but the things that people do can change it.
Does anyone think that protecting the environment is not a priority?
Oh, definitely.
It should be our number one
Yes,
priority.
I think
it's
it's
priority.
the military should be our number one
Oh
priority,
God.
but I guess
we all have
I guess the
to-
environment. I guess the environment.
They're in an environment, are they not? They have to be in a.
We're talking about the environment, okay.
I feel like we should like
I know.
go to like other ways to produce
Environment.
energy, like using like more dams and
Yes.
like other things like
Hydropower and wind and
windmill.
solar.
Yeah, exactly.
We should have larger corporations try to incorporate like solar power or wind power. Obviously, there are some places like in the city where you couldn't do wind power, but those places could put solar panels on their roofs, right?
We could put like
But that costs a
more
lot.
windmills.
That costs
That costs a lot of money, and how would what if those people don't have the amount of money that it costs to get those solar
Well,
panels?
obviously, this isn't gonna happen in like a week. This is a couple years
Over time.
process. And I do believe if we do somehow raise the taxes a little bit and maybe a little bit more to the higher income people, we can find the funds to do this.
Yeah, but like my family, we're looking into putting in solar panels, and just for like the amount of solar panels to cover just my house alone, it's a lot of money. And like for the scale that you would like it to be to actually power like all these like massive buildings, it would like be a lot more than just
Well,
one house.
Well, no, but there's actually companies that will pay you to put their solar panels on your roof. And they will pay you over time, like over a 10-year period, they will pay you around $10,000.
Would you still need to pay? Would you still need to pay them in some way, which is expensive?
Once you get
There's
the
no-
solar
they don't
panels,
give you
that's
solar.
it.
They don't just
That's
give-
not something
They don't
else.
just give you the solar panels. You're gonna have to pay
No,
some
because
way.
the solar panels, like the energy that it produces, you give it back to the company, and then again they sell it to others.
I think also the problem with solar panels is that what if there's no sun out? How are you gonna get power?
Well,
You need other ways
solar
of power.
panels, opposite to popular belief, they don't just work when the sun is out, they actually hold power in power cells in the solar panels, so there would be leftover energy for the nighttime.
Yeah, what if it didn't have any? What if it ran out? That's the alternative way to
It
get
doesn't.
power.
It doesn't run out.
I don't see
It doesn't run out.